Hey there and welcome. Have you ever been in a really big training session and just felt kind of lost in the crowd? Well, today we're going to unpack a super powerful method for turning those huge groups into small, engaged, and super active learning communities. We're talking about the Farmer Field School's secret weapon, the host team.
All right, here's what's on deck. We'll kick things off with the big group challenge, then I'll introduce you to the host team solution and why it works so darn well. We'll even get into how to build one, what they do every day, and finally, we'll get to the real heart of this whole learning method.
So first up, let's talk about a problem I think we've all seen before. Trying to manage a big group and, at the same time, making sure every single person feels like they're a part of it.
I mean, really think about it for a second. You've got dozens of people in one room. How on earth do you make sure that every single person feels heard, feels valued, and is actually involved in what's happening? It's a massive challenge.
And that's really the heart of the problem, isn't it? It's just so easy for people to kind of fade into the background. They become passive observers instead of active participants. The Farmer Field School, or FFS, methodology was actually designed to tackle this exact problem head-on.
So what's the big solution? Well, the FFS framework has this brilliantly simple concept to crack the engagement code. It's called the host team.
The whole idea is just to break that big, intimidating group down into smaller, much more dynamic units. They're called mini-groups, or as we're calling them, host teams. It's really all about creating these little communities within the bigger one.
So, what is a host team exactly? Well, it's a small subgroup of participants, and they get to be in charge of managing all the activities for an entire day. Their whole mission is to make sure the session runs like clockwork, and that absolutely everyone is participating.
And get this, there's a magic number. The perfect size is just 5 to 6 people. This keeps the team nimble. It makes sure everyone has a role to play, and it keeps communication super direct and personal. Let's be honest, it's pretty hard to hide in a group of 6.
But this isn't just about logistics or making a big room feel smaller. Oh no, there's a much deeper philosophy going on here. Let's dig into why this structure is so absolutely essential to the FFS way of doing things.
This quote right here, it basically says it all. It's a core belief in FFS. Real, meaningful learning doesn't happen when you're being lectured at. It happens in these small, collaborative teams.
And the goals are crystal clear. This structure makes sure the group runs democratically. It gives every single member a chance to step up and practice being a leader. And it gives them real, hands-on experience in managing a training session. This isn't just theory, it's practice. Plus, it helps everyone build strong bonds and really truly get to know each other.
Okay, so this all sounds amazing in theory, right? But how do you actually do it? How do you create these teams? Let's walk through the steps together.
The process is actually wonderfully simple. First, the facilitator splits the big group into smaller ones, making sure it's done totally fairly. Then, inside each new team, the members elect their own leaders, a chairperson, a secretary, a timekeeper. After that, the team gets to create its own identity with a unique name and a slogan. And finally, each team introduces itself to the whole group, which gives them a real sense of recognition. And this isn't just a fun little exercise. Creating a name, a slogan, and a leadership structure gives each team its own unique identity and a real sense of ownership over what they're supposed to do.
So what do these teams do when it's their day to host? Well, their mission is pretty broad. It covers everything from logistics to leading the learning itself. Let's break it all down.
First up, you've got just managing the day. The host team is totally in charge of all the logistics. They set up the room, make sure the tea breaks happen on time, they prep and hand out all the materials, and this is a big one, they are the official timekeepers for everybody. But here's where it gets really interesting. Their role goes way beyond just logistics and into actual leadership. The team prepares and gives the recap of what happened the day before, they facilitate big group discussions, they take notes, and they help out the main facilitator. See, they're not just students anymore, they're basically co-facilitators. And finally, they're in charge of the group's vibe, the energy and the atmosphere. They lead the icebreakers, introduce any visitors, they take attendance, and they might even handle the opening and closing remarks. They're the social glue for the day, making sure everyone feels welcome and energized. So, when you put all these pieces together, you start to see that the host team idea is way more than just a clever trick to manage a group. It is the absolute heart of the FFS learning experience. And this right here is the key takeaway. Host teams are the engine that drives FFS.
They literally transfer the ownership of the learning process from the facilitator over to the participants themselves. And that builds a deep sense of responsibility and seriously levels up everyone's organizational and communication skills.